What's up, guys? Mike Olson here, as always, with my partner Justin Moody. We are the Moody Olson team here in Las Vegas, bringing you the best information we possibly can on the Las Vegas housing market. And today we are bringing you the next in our series of Vegas versus videos. We're doing a place very near and dear to both of our hearts, being that we are Southern California natives. We're bringing you Vegas versus Orange County, California. And real quick before we get into it, let's go ahead and comment on the obvious here. It's shorts weather here in Vegas. We haven't been out to the course in shorts yet, so we're both looking a little pale. Give us a month or two. I'm sure that we'll get a little bit tanner as we play a few rounds. But in the meantime, we might have to adjust the exposure.
Yeah, we might have to change the lighting a little bit.
Maybe just a little bit.
Or you can just watch us with your sunglasses on.
That being said, turn the brightness on the monitor down. Let's get into it. Justin, kick us off here. Tell us about the differences between the Las Vegas and Orange County housing markets.
All right. Well, it's actually, it's fortuitous timing. I just returned back from Orange County. This is
so jealous.
Yes, today's May 12th. I spent the weekend in Orange County visiting some family, took my mom out for Mother's Day. And it just reminded me just how beautiful Orange County is. And honestly, next to Vegas, it's probably one of my favorite places.
Same.
I absolutely love Orange County. So, of course,
go Angels.
Go Angels, absolutely. So I wanted to jump into the housing market with you guys and talk about why it's not my favorite place.
Yeah. This is why, as much as I love it, why I don't live there.
Yeah.
We're about to tell you right now.
Yeah. So, I spent some time in research, and I called a very good friend who's an agent in Orange County and talked to them about the market. The market is just like Vegas. It's tight. Inventory is low.
Right.
And the home prices are going up because that inventory is low. And I would imagine that, when and if the interest rates come down, those prices are going to jump even more. Prices year over year from 2023 to 2024 are up about 14% versus Vegas, which is up about 8.5%, 9% from 2013 into 2024. The average price for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in Orange County, you're looking, listing price right around $1.3 million. Some a little bit higher, depending on what part of Orange County you are, of course, and some a little bit lower. Again, same kind of criteria, depending on where you're at. So I looked at what's the overall average square footage in Orange County as far as price per square foot. You're looking at over $600 per square foot in Orange County for a home. And that's not new home versus old home. That's just an average $600 a square foot compared to Vegas, which were about $260 a square foot, or about $425,000 sale price. So there is a massive difference. And I tell people all the time, I still have a lot of friends and family in Southern California, in both LA and Orange counties, and I talk to them about the market all the time. You get so much more for your dollar in Vegas. Yes, you're gonna be away from some of the things that Mike and I are gonna talk about in Orange County, but your lifestyle, your cost of living, everything is gonna be a lot different here in Vegas. So why don't we let Mike talk about what about the cost of living in Orange County versus Las Vegas?
No problem. So as always, I am using the NerdWallet cost of living comparison tool, which is just a fantastic tool. If you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend taking a look at it, especially if you're planning to move. Put in your home city, put in how much money you make, and it'll tell you exactly how much money you need to make in the city that you're moving to in order to maintain the same standard of living. So what we do is we use the median family income for Las Vegas, and then we put that into the calculator and we let it tell us how much the family needs to make in the city that we're featuring in our video. So for this video right here, I punched in Las Vegas, Nevada, $66,400 a year, which is the median family income in Las Vegas. And in order to maintain that same standard of living in Orange County, you need to make $102,000. 101,822 if you want to get specific on it.
Wow.
So the cost of living is 53% higher overall. Now let's break that down just a little bit. I know Justin just talked to you about the housing cost, so I'm going to touch on that just briefly. Talking about the rent, a 2-bedroom apartment in Las Vegas, median rent is $1,627 a month. Compare that to Orange County, California, $3,110 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment.
So almost double.
That's more than the mortgage I pay on my 5-bedroom house.
Yeah, wow.
That's crazy, right? But now keep in mind, so these are averages, right? So because it's an average, that covers everything from something that sits on the water in Newport all the way to something maybe over in, Anaheim or Santa Ana that's a little bit more off the beaten path. It's not going to be as expensive. These numbers are median for these large metropolitan statistical areas. So can you find a apartment cheaper than that in Orange County? Of course you can. You can also find apartments that are much more expensive than that. But generally speaking, that's the average cost. So you're going from 60, you're doubling basically. 145% housing cost increase. Transportation costs, you're talking 10% higher. Everybody knows that Southern California, or California in general, has some of the highest gas prices in the nation. And a lot of that is largely due to local regulation. We won't get into those specifics. That's not really what we do here on this channel.
And as of this filming, I just read an article that they're expecting a 25-cent increase over the next 12 months in California, and then another 52% or cent increase in 2026.
That is
their gas prices.
So what you're saying is to make sure I fill up the tank here,
and then put a gas can full of gas
before I drive down to California for the weekend.
Yes.
That's 75 cents on top of what's already some of the highest gas prices in the nation.
And I just read that today on Fox News.
Right. And you guys know, listen, we tell you guys this in all of these videos. We're not here to bash. We're not here to talk down. We told you at the beginning of this video how much we love Orange County. I go there almost quarterly. It's either there or San Diego. We go down there to play golf, go down there to eat some great seafood. We go down there to take the kids to the museums and to the amusement parks. Absolutely love it. And would I love to have something down, a block off the water in Newport Beach? Of course I would. But I'm telling you right now why that's not a thing, and it's because of this. It's because of this cost of living difference that you have to account for. Entertainment cost in Orange County, just so to explain what I'm doing here, I do have my laptop just outside of the view of the camera because I want to make sure I'm giving you guys accurate numbers. I don't want to pull anything off the top of my head. So I'm reading them right off the website here. Movie tickets in Las Vegas, $13. In Orange County, you're looking at $18. For a 6-pack of Heineken, $10.12 in Vegas versus $11.24. So $1 more for a 6-pack. Your average yoga class, it says $16 for a class in Vegas as opposed to $28 in Orange County. So, your entertainment costs are going to be 30% higher on average, and your healthcare costs are going to be 11% higher. So really, healthcare costs, kind of a wash. It looks like a dental visit in Orange County is going to cost you an extra $15. An optometrist visit is going to be about $40 more. Other than that, so 11%, pretty much a wash on healthcare costs, not a significant increase. But the majority of that cost of living increase is going to be in the housing.
The housing for sure. Well, and let me speak just from recent experience.
And the taxes.
Yeah, the taxes for sure. But just spending that weekend in Orange County, eating from all the way in South Orange County down by the water in Newport Beach, all the way to North Orange County, up near Brea and Fullerton, I really felt like I was paying a significantly higher price for my meals everywhere we ate. Everything that we did, even just going to get a cup of coffee, it just felt like it was just a little bit more.
You know what we should do on a follow-up video, Justin, was we should get the same meal here. Get like steak and eggs and a Bloody Mary, and then get the same meal in Orange County and compare the prices. I'd be curious to see how that turned out.
And it would be terrible to have to go to Orange County and have a meal.
This is the burden that we carry for you guys, to bring you guys good content.
We do this for you.
So yeah, cost of living is just substantially higher. Of course, the taxes in California, we don't need to belabor the point. You guys know what the taxes in California are like. Or if you don't know, it's a pretty easy Google search to find out. Nevada doesn't have a state income tax.
Yeah, no, California's state income tax is 100 times higher than Nevada's.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. So cost of living, obviously, if you can afford Orange County, Orange County has a lot to offer, but man, it is not going to compare to the cost of living in Las Vegas, particularly when it comes to housing, particularly when it comes to taxes. These things are going to have a huge effect on your life. So let's talk about how we are going to afford this cost of living difference. And we're going to talk about the job market. Justin?
Yeah. So when you think of Orange County, or when people think of Orange County in general, I think the first things they think about is Anaheim and Disneyland. Well, Disneyland is one of the top employers in Orange County. They employ over 60,000 people, either in the parks or some sort of ancillary position to the parks. So they're definitely one of the top employers in Orange County. They pay fairly well, but the average income for a full-time Disney employer with 5 years on the job or more is still significantly less than $100,000. You're looking at about $63,000 a year, including all your benefits and all that good stuff. So you're still well below the income that you need.
Yeah,
To comfortably live. You definitely have to be a 2-income family to support that. So Disney is definitely one of the top employers. I do have, let me pull it up on my phone here. I just pulled up some of the other top employers. The University of California, Irvine.
Sure.
Another top employer. It's a huge university. And then you start to get into hospitals, Kaiser, Providence, Hoag, some of the medical industry in Orange County. It's major. They have the huge children's hospital there. They have some great medical facilities in Orange County. I myself have had surgery in Orange County, so my only surgery. So I can say that the medical facilities there are top notch. Unfortunately, the Angels were not top employer.
Yeah, I don't imagine it takes more than 100 or so people to run a baseball team.
I would think with all the vendors and all that stuff.
So the vendors don't work for the team.
Oh, okay.
The vendors are contracted by the team.
Oh, interesting.
I have had the chance to experience that because back many years ago, before I was in the Army, I spent a couple years working in private security, and so I got to do behind the scenes for a lot of events.
Okay.
You know, from everything from professional sports to big concerts, which was primarily what I did. Actually, one of the coolest events that I ever got to work. This will be something for you Southern California natives. I got to work in 1997 for the K-Rock Weenie Roast held in Irvine.
Okay.
And I got to be security for that event, which was just absolutely one of the highlights of that period of my life. Just a fantastic time I had. Got to meet a lot of the bands. Okay. Got paid to stand front and center in front of the stage and keep people from crowd surfing their way up on stage with the Offspring. So that was a good time.
You might have been securing me. I might have been at that concert.
I very well may have, yes.
So back to the employers though too, I wanted to kind of bring up a few of the other large employers there. You know, Orange County does have a lot of major headquarters.
Sure.
For companies. And some I knew, some I had forgotten, but I just want to bring up a few. Taco Bell is headquartered in Irvine. I think I remember seeing that and just forgot. Another large company, and if you haven't experienced it and you want to enjoy something like Disneyland a little bit on the cheap, Knott's Berry Farm, the second happiest place on earth.
For my money, I'll take Knott's Berry Farm over Disneyland every day of the week. That's just me. I grew up at Knott's Berry Farm. It's one of my absolute favorite places in the world. Okay. Don't get me wrong, Disneyland's great. Significantly overpriced in my opinion.
Gotcha.
But great. Knott's Berry Farm is where it's at for me.
Okay. And then you have some, major retailers like SAS, their headquarters there as well. If you've been to downtown Irvine or if you've driven through some of the larger cities, you'll see those high rises and you're going to see some major corporations there. So those are going to be mainly the top employers. Now, most of the jobs in Anaheim especially are going to be very similar to Las Vegas and in the hospitality industry. You get farther down the coast, you get closer to the beaches. Again, you're going to start seeing more hospitality jobs. But what surprised me and really stood out was technically they may not be the biggest employers, but they're offering the most employment are grocery stores.
Interesting.
Grocery stores in general employ most people in Orange County, or at least offer the most jobs in Orange County. They may not live there, but they employ the most people in Orange County. So that's kind of the job market in a nutshell. The job market is pretty even. It's not really growing or shrinking. I know there have been some things, legislation lately that have affected some of the smaller businesses as far as minimum wage requirements. So you have started to see some layoffs in certain industries.
Yeah, fast food industry is getting crushed by some of those.
And that's just going to affect other industries down the road. So you are going to see, they're expecting to see a drop off in employment and probably another exodus coming soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And we tell you guys all the time. The question when you're talking about cost of living and when you're comparing two statistic areas like Las Vegas and Orange County, where there's such a huge disparity in the cost of living, the average household income in Orange County is substantially higher than the average household income in Las Vegas.
Yes.
However, that doesn't apply across the board, right? If you're a blue collar worker, if you're somebody who works on an hourly basis, and you make $25 or $30 an hour in Las Vegas, the chances that you're going to move to Orange County and, double that and make $60 an hour. I can't say that it's impossible, but I believe it's relatively unlikely. If you work in a job that pays you $25 or $30 an hour here, you're probably gonna make close to that there, but the expenses have gone through the roof. Now, if you're a white collar professional, if you're in IT, or if you're in real estate, if you're a lawyer, right, then your salaries are gonna scale. And so that jump in cost of living may not affect you as significantly. But if you're somebody who is doing a job that pays an hourly wage, there's a decent chance that that cost of living is going to affect you much higher. This is, of course, anecdotal. This is just my experience from talking to lots of people, from having family that lives in both places and knowing both markets pretty well. It's going to be a lot tougher if you don't have that kind of white collar or tech or maybe a medical profession. Those jobs might scale a little better.
Absolutely.
But, if you're an hourly worker, it's probably going to be tough for you. Hey, moving on, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the crime rates in the two respective cities. It's important information for you guys to have.
Yeah.
So let's touch on it briefly. As you guys know, if you've watched any of our previous videos in this series, Las Vegas is actually a surprisingly safe city. We do have a slightly higher than the national average violent crime rate, 410 crimes per 100,000 people, which is not substantially higher than the national average. So for a large metropolitan city, it's actually pretty good. On the property crime front, we are at 1,700 property crimes per 100,000 people, which is actually lower than the national average. Now, I had to go outside the box a little bit to get the numbers for Orange County, because the typical website that I use to get crime numbers, which is the US News website, for those of you who are wondering, didn't have Orange County. They had individual cities in Orange County, but given the size of Orange County and the number of cities, I didn't feel like that was an accurate measure of the crime in order to give you guys the best picture of what was going on. But what I was able to find by going directly to the FBI's website is they have the crime statistics broke up by metropolitan statistical area. And one metropolitan statistical area is the Anaheim, Santa Ana, and Irvine MSA.
Three of the biggest cities in Orange County.
Those are the three biggest cities in Orange County at between 300 and 350,000 people apiece. So you're talking just over 1 million people. Okay. I feel pretty good about those numbers. Now, you're leaving out places like Newport or Huntington Beach, but those cities actually have relatively small populations compared to Anaheim, Irvine, and Santa Ana. Yeah. So their numbers per 100,000 are as follows. For violent crime, they're actually pretty good at 214 crimes per 100,000 people. So that's about half of what Vegas has. So good job, Orange County, on your violent crime rate. And their property crime rate is almost exactly the same as ours at 1,860 crimes per 100,000 people. These numbers are from 2019, so they're actually a year older than the numbers that I got off of the US News website for Las Vegas. And if you guys want to go check these numbers out yourself, they actually break it down really well. And they break down the numbers by the individual cities in both LA and Orange County. So we'll probably be revisiting this site when we do Los Angeles here soon. But you guys can go right to the FBI's website and you can look at these numbers yourself. They actually have an Excel spreadsheet you can download and manipulate the data. But I just went right to the website and I just looked right at the crimes, property and violent crime per 100,000 people for that direct comparison. Okay. And the reality is, on violent crime, they're doing better than us. And on property crime, we are doing about the same as them. In my opinion, violent crime is relatively easy to avoid. With just a bit of situational awareness and some halfway decent decision making, the chances of you being a victim of violent crime in either city are shockingly low. So I wouldn't worry too much about that, but we want to give you guys the numbers. We always want to provide you with the best information because we want to make sure that you're informed buyers and that you have the best information with which to make any decision related to your real estate purchase. So there's those numbers. Let's move on.
Sad and depressing numbers. Anytime we talk about crime, it's just always kind of a bummer. So that's why we like to follow it up with something a little bit more fun.
And then why don't you tell us about the difference in entertainment and nightlife between Las Vegas and Orange County?
And obviously the differences are going to be vast depending on what you're into. I mean, if you're into that, gambling lifestyle, if you like the ritz and glamour of the Strip and you like the shows and the high-end restaurants and that lifestyle, then Vegas is going to take it hands down every time. Spending the weekend, I'm so glad I kind of got to spend the weekend in Orange County to remind me of just there is so many enjoyable things to do in Orange County as well.
Yeah.
So let's start there. You have places like downtown Fullerton, which has great bars and restaurants, just a really nice vibe. You have the Block at Orange, which has great shopping, restaurants, movie theaters. And then, we can take it even down to the Irvine Spectrum.
Right.
I took my daughter down to the Spectrum about a year ago. We were down there for a birthday party. And, they have the Ferris wheel, they have street performers, all sorts of great things for kids. So that was fun. And then, of course, the beaches. I spent a significant amount of time in the Newport and Huntington Beach areas on Friday evening, and you got to walk the pier. And it's just so many great restaurants and bars. It's really changed since we left,
Right.
especially Huntington Beach. So, it was, the nightlife there can be very similar to Vegas. Without the gambling, you're not going to have the big nightclubs. The restaurants, you can still find really quality restaurants there, top-notch restaurants, high-end restaurants, great mom and pop shops. You name what you want almost, and you can find it at your fingertips in both cities. So it really depends on what you want to do as far as enjoying your moments and your nights with your family. But I would say that, again, it's really going to depend on what you're into. But I would say it's kind of a wash. They're both going to be equally fun. And I think what Mike's going to talk about a little bit is where Orange County is going to have a little bit of an edge on us, maybe.
Well, yeah, but before we move on to the outdoor life, I want to stay on the nightlife just a little bit, because I love Orange County. I go down there all the time, spend weekends just like you just did. And, for my money, we've said this before during these videos, right? When it comes to big bombast and when it comes to glitz and glamour and giant shows, nobody's going to compete with Vegas. Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world for a reason. Unchallenged, nobody comes close. You can go see headlining performers 5 nights a week. You can go, you guys get it. And we talked about the food scene here, and I stand by my statements in previous videos where I tell you that I believe that Vegas is one of the best food cities in the world, because you can get any single type of cuisine at the highest level here, right? You can get the most authentic Chinese food. You can get some of the best steaks in the world. You can get some of the best seafood in the world. Like, I stand by my statement that this is a food destination. But Orange County is no slouch when it comes to food, right? And when it comes to nightlife either, I do really, really appreciate the low-key vibe of the nightlife in Orange County is what I really love about it. And to me, nightlife in Orange County is the boardwalk in Newport Beach, or the downtown down by the pier in Huntington, right? Or downtown Fullerton, like you said. This is what nightlife there is. And it's really, really cool little local restaurants and neighborhood bars. And like, man, I'm a 46-year-old white guy. I'm not going to the club, right? I want to go down and I want to have a beer at Blackie's by the Sea in Newport, or, I want to go down and eat at any of the number of fantastic seafood restaurants in Huntington Beach, or go into, even around Anaheim. You got some great places around the ballpark and around Disneyland, or around Knott's Berry Farm if you travel over to Buena Park. There's so many great options for nightlife there. It's a very, very different scene from what you're going to get in Vegas. But depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for clubs, Orange County's not for you. Yeah. If you're looking for clubs, you're gonna have to go up to LA, right? Obviously, Vegas has clubs aplenty. Yeah. But if you're looking for great food, if you're looking for great neighborhood bars where you can get really classy cocktails or great locally brewed beer, well, Orange County is a strong contender. It's part of the reason I go there so often. And I 100% agree with you. I think that the one negative that I got out of, kind of going back and enjoying some of the places of my youth in my early 20s, late teens, some of the places that I got to enjoy was, even though my hotel was in Orange County, I was still a 40-minute drive for some of these places that I really wanted to go. Right. That were only a few miles away. Yeah. So that was, to me, that was really the only detractor, was the reminder of the traffic situation and all of Southern California, but Orange County too, especially.
So when I was younger, being able to hit Newport for a few hours and cruise right over to Huntington Beach for a few hours and then maybe head up and finish the day in Fullerton. When, that was like, you could start that at 5 and be done by 11. You really have to start at noon now if you want to do something like that and go to some of your favorite spots and see these different locations and enjoy all that different vibe. Or it just becomes we're going to Newport, we're spending the day at Newport, or we're going to Huntington and we're spending the day at Huntington.
And that's what I typically do. When I go to Orange County on vacation, usually what I do is I'll get my Airbnb or my hotel, depending on the situation. If it's just myself and Stasha, usually I will get a hotel. Mm-hmm. If I take the whole family, I typically get an Airbnb. I find it's more cost effective than getting multiple hotel rooms. And then wherever I get that hotel or that Airbnb in the area I plan to spend my time.
Gotcha.
So, if we're going to Newport, then we're going to go out to eat in Newport. We're going to go do our drinking in Newport. We're going to do most of our entertainment in that area. If we're going to Los Angeles or if we're going to somewhere further, if we're going to Anaheim, we're going to stay in Anaheim. I'm not going to drive from Anaheim or from Buena Park, say we're going to Knott's Berry Farm. I'm not gonna, or Fullerton, right? Usually I get an Airbnb. There's a fantastic Airbnb in Fullerton I like to grab. And if we're going there, I'm not driving all the way to Newport for a seafood dinner. Like I can get great seafood or I can get, or I'll get something else. I'll get something there in that Fullerton, Buena Park area where there's absolutely no shortage of options. But yeah, you do have to account for the distances and the traffic. All right, guys, last but not least, we are going to talk about one of our favorite things, outdoor living.
Especially in Orange County.
Especially in Orange County. And just like they don't have a hope of beating us when it comes to nightlife and entertainment simply because of the nature of Las Vegas, we really don't have a hope of beating them when it comes to outdoor living.
That's tough. That's tough.
Orange County, much like Honolulu in our previous video, or San Diego a few videos back, is just an absolute beast when it comes to your options for outdoor living.
Yeah.
We'll start first and foremost with Justin and I's favorite thing to do in the world outside of sell houses, which is play golf.
Yes.
Some days I prefer golf over selling houses, but selling houses helps me pay for the golf.
This is true. I actually told somebody this weekend I sell houses to support my golf habit.
Yeah, accurate. Very accurate. Great golf down there. Lots and lots of courses, everything from small munis to private country clubs and everything in between. Just a fantastic golf destination. Although I would say it is a little bit difficult to get a tee time.
And a little bit more pricey.
That is a great option. There is great golf down there. It's a little bit more expensive than we spend here. And you probably got to plan ahead in order to get a tee time. You're probably not going to walk on to the course. But to be fair, it can be hard to walk onto the course here as well, depending on the day.
True.
Fantastic golf. But of course, the game changer is the ocean. Right. So you're right there on the water. So you've got some of the best surfing on the West Coast. You've got
Huntington Beach is Surf City.
Huntington Beach is Surf City, and I spent many, many nights as a teenager sitting around a bonfire on Huntington Beach with my friends, playing guitar and having a good time. You've got the beach, you've got surfing, and all of the other beach-associated outdoor activities. Volleyball is huge there. You have big beach volleyball tournaments there. Fishing is really, really popular, both pierside fishing and fishing from a boat, whether you're doing deep sea fishing or whether you're just going out into the bay right there. Fishing is very, very popular. The hiking in Southern California is unmatched, in my opinion, is one of the premier hiking destinations in the country, honestly.
And Orange County quietly has like mountain trails. They have a hill country that a lot of people don't know about. When you get over into like that Rancho Santa Margarita area, even the Yorba Linda and Anaheim Hills area, you do have a lot of great hiking in those areas as well.
I love running beside the water. Not so much.
If you see me running beside the water, you need to find out what's chasing me and please kill it.
Fair enough. I got you, brother. But yeah, Orange County is just a phenomenal outdoor activity location / destination. And that's not even when you take into account some of the more low-key activities, such as taking in a game at the Angel Stadium, or going to one of the multiple amusement parks, or
what I just did. I mean, it's technically not Orange County, but we did leave from Newport, which is in Orange County. Went to Catalina Island, which is in LA County, but it was a 75-minute boat ride from Newport.
Yeah.
And on the way, we got to see humpback whales jumping out of the water.
That's amazing.
Dolphins swimming, the wildlife there.
Yeah.
There's tons of different whale watching adventures right out of Orange County.
Speaking of going out on the water, one of the things I always forget about as an outdoor activity is sailing.
Oh yeah.
Sailing is extremely popular there. You know, you can get your captain's license, you can get, they have rental boats that you could rent. I mean, people sail as a hobby. I know that's foreign concept if people don't live near the ocean, but sailing is a hobby.
Expensive.
It's really not. I mean, owning your own boat's expensive.
Yes, but if you can rent a boat, rent it.
Absolutely. But yeah, when it comes to outdoor living, and then you guys know, we tell you guys in all the videos, we'll go ahead and recap for those who this might be your first Moody Olson team video, your first moving to Las Vegas video. We have some pretty great outdoor living here in Las Vegas as well. Starting with the golf, our golf here is fantastic and relatively inexpensive, and the courses here are pretty easy to get out on. Justin and I have a regular rotation of courses that we play all the time. They include Angel Park, Las Vegas Golf Club, which we locals refer to as Muni. We play Rhodes Ranch regularly. We play
Painted Desert
right here next to my house, Painted Desert regularly. And you can play all of these courses for about $75 a round. A little more on the weekends, a little bit less on the weekdays. And usually I can get a tee time with no more than 2 days notice pretty easily. Maybe a few more days than that if you're trying to get a weekend tee time.
And coming into the summer, if you have the stamina for it, you can handle it. Afternoon tee times in the summer, they're pretty dirt cheap.
I want to say that I pay about $35 or $40 to play a round if I tee off at 2 o'clock.
So like a 40-50% discount.
Yeah, drink some Gatorade, you'll be all right.
Plenty of water, golf cart has a shade.
But yeah, so we have great outdoor living here. The golf is fantastic. We also have world-class rock climbing. Some of the most famous rock climbers in the world live here. I believe Alex Honnold, who's the premier rock climber in the world. He's the guy who free soloed Half Dome, I believe, in Yosemite. He lives here in Vegas, or at least he used to. I know that. He does a lot of his training here. We have fantastic rock climbing here. We have the Colorado River. We have Lake Mead with all of the associated outdoor activities there.
Lake Mojave.
Lake
Havasu's not that far.
Water skiing, houseboat, camping, fishing, all of these things are very, very popular here. A lot of people have, personal watercrafts, so ski-doos, jet skis, whatever you want to call them. And then we also have what I believe is Vegas's hidden secret. We have Mount Charleston.
Especially in the summer.
Yeah, 30 degrees difference, right?
Absolutely.
It can be 100 degrees here and it'll be 75 degrees up on Mount Charleston. And there's great hiking up there, great nature walks. And I've actually gone up there just to do nature photography with Stasha. That's something that she enjoys doing. So we've gone up there to do that. So yeah, no shortage of great outdoor activities here in Las Vegas, but you know that we just can't compare with Orange County and with the beautiful beaches and all of the oceanic adventures that you can partake in.
Unless you don't like the water and you prefer the desert, then we win hands down.
There you have it. But I feel like more people like the water than not.
True.
And that largely explains why it costs $1.3 million to buy a house.
Yeah, I'm a big water guy myself. So I love the desert, but I am a big ocean guy. I do love the ocean.
Yes, as do I.
If you do decide to come to Vegas and make Vegas your home, but you're like Mike and I and you love Orange County, it took me 3.5 hours to get there on Friday morning. So it's not a far trip. A couple of tanks of gas and you're there. Also, if you decide that Orange County is the place you want to be, still reach out to us. Let us know. We know some really great real estate agents in the Orange County area that'd be more than happy to help you. Let us do that work for you. We'll put you in contact with the best agents possible.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up right here. If you have lending needs, make sure you reach out to our preferred lending partner, Steve Schauer, and his associate, Linda Vo, over at National Mortgage Company. They're the best in town. We've worked with them for years. They're going to take complete and total care of you. We trust them with our clients. All of their information is also in the description below. Make sure you comment below if there are any other cities that you would like us to add to the list. We have some great ones coming up. A couple of them we have coming up by request. We have Dallas and San Antonio in the hopper, as well as Boise, Idaho I got a request for. I was very surprised by that, but I'm looking forward to that. I actually went on vacation to Boise last year. I'll talk about it more in the video. Had an absolute blast.
And I'll be in Idaho for 4th of July this year. So
we have some great videos in the hopper for the Versus series. We have some great videos in the hopper for our Best of Vegas series. We're actually going to go out and start working on our Best breakfast diner in Vegas tomorrow, so we're very excited about that. We're putting out 2 videos a week of the best local content / real estate content that we can bring to the table, because we want to make you guys informed buyers. We want to give you the information you need to make a smart decision. If you are looking to move to Las Vegas, whether it's next week, next month, or next year, reach out to the Moody Olson team, comment below, or go to the description. We have all of our links there. We have our website, we have email address, we have phone numbers. You can just call us directly. Reach out to us. Let us go to work for you. I promise you, nobody's gonna work harder. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that bell icon so you get notified whenever we put out new videos. Like I said, we're doing 2 a week. And until the next time, we'll see you later.
Talk to you soon.